So today our topic for this webinar is RPA and artificial intelligence, synergies and integration opportunities. These days there is a lot of discussion of AI and how AI is changing people lives and employees, how they work at organizations. So and then in parallel there is a technology which is robotic process automation, which we call RPA, where we have different bots who are actually working on automating business processes. So we have found a synergy between AI and RPA. So we are going to present the same for a guest. Agenda would be what is RPA? We'll tell you what RPA is, what RPA does, how it works, what are the advantages, where RPA can be implemented in industries, and then a relationship between RPA and AI. So starting off as an intro, RPA is a form of business process automation technology based on metaphorical software robots that automatically perform tasks on a system according to a preset rules, instructions, or guidelines. We call it a digital worker or digital assistant. So basically, RPA uh, are bots, software bots, which are doing repetitive, mundane, and data-intensive tasks in organizations. First step of automation in organizations is to bring them on a certain ERP or certain platform. When the organizations are there, still there are manual processes which are being done by the staff, which are consuming more hours by the staff. Like mostly these are processes where they have to have information from one system and present that information into another system. So they have to go back and forth between different systems. So the technology of RPA has been in talks since many years. So and now this is being integrated with AI to create intelligent automation. RPA bots, they do not have intelligence of their own. They are only doing work which is repetitive and mundane. They are not utilizing any, I would say, any of their own knowledge. Rather, they are going to perform tasks as we define them to perform. So when there is a decision making required, there we integrate RPA with AI. So, for example, if there is a task of extracting data from one PDF file and the user has to put it into a different system. So usually, if a user is taking 15 minutes in performing one task, if a human is taking 15 minutes, RPA bot will be taking just 1 minute to execute that task. So this is the level of efficiency it has, and it definitely has better performance. It can work 24/7. It can be triggered. So it has a lot of applications. It can be deployed on a user. It can be deployed on a server at the back end. It can work with APIs. So it has a lot of applications across different businesses. So moving on, some jargons which we use when we deploy RPA is that the bots, they are tracking, they are creating a log as well. When the process is being done, all that process is being recorded, so you can track back as well that which process was done and which was missed out. uh, there are any suggestions and recommendations, those can be incorporated as well later on for any further improvement. So moving further, why RPA? The businesses are changing, and teams are planning to spend less time on their repetitive and mundane tasks. So to remain relevant in the industry, to remain ahead of the competition, the organizations, they are implementing this technology. Human have certain limitations. Human are not bound to do repetitive work, rather they are bound to do creative work. So so RPA is doing the repetitive work while assisting human at work so that they have maximum output, and I mean they have less fatigue. For example, we see in different organizations where there are processes which are where human have to sit even after hours to perform certain things. The reason is that mostly out of the 8 hours, many of those hours are being spent on repetitive and mundane tasks, or maybe tasks which do not require any intelligence or any human input, but they are being done by people. So so that to save that time, RPA technology is being introduced. Why RPA? It improves accuracy, cost reduction. I mean, if you have 10 people doing a process, you can have the same process being done by maybe half the number of people with having RPA for the rest of the people at work. So you can direct your resources to your more business development processes rather than having people do mundane tasks. Competitive advantage. Your work will be done more faster and more efficiently. And also the process would be the quality would not be compromised because human can make errors, bots will not won't be making any errors. So it's fast and easy implementation, accelerated digital transformation, and better customer experience. So organizations where customer experience is very important, they go for RPA because eventually they want their customer to be happy. Increases efficiency, faster processing time, scalability. The business can be scalable. I mean, for smaller businesses as well, the technology is very useful because we have seen that in smaller businesses, they cannot. I mean, they spend a lot of time in doing manual work, so they can have a bot do those tasks for them instead of having to hire people and spend more money on hiring or having more capex or fixed expenses. So they can have the bots do those processes. So increased data quality, I mean, of course, the output is increased. Enhanced analytics, increased business agility, and improved compliance. Businesses which are prone to compliance, for example, banks, insurance organizations, or any companies which are, for example, GDPR compliance we have. So and whenever businesses have to expose the data to people outside their organization, there the data compliance comes in or the compliance comes in. So they don't need to do that because they'll have RPA bot do those work for them while sitting at their own infrastructure. So RPA doesn't take anything out of your infrastructure. It is something which works within the infrastructure. No data is taken out. So that compliance part is also ensured. In banking, for example, we talk about AML compliance, anti-money laundering compliance, where transactions are picked up or there are certain criteria to match how the transactions are being done. So instead of human picking up those transactions at random, there are RPA bots which are implemented at the back end who are actually working 24/7 and monitoring all the transactions being done. So how RPA works? It works on cloud, it works in the mainframe, it can work on the desktop of the user, it can also work in an enterprise environment at the backend on a server. So users can have shared access to one RPA bot, or if a user wants to have a dedicated access, they can have that bot installed on their own system to do that process for them. So it is implementation is very easy. So by function, we have some use cases in different organizations, regardless of what type of industry they are. There are processes which are prone to having more, I would say, consuming more time. For example, in internal operations, finance, HR, and IT services, procurement, administration services, and there are other some processes which are listed here. So in these, I mean, what's common in all these processes is that they are consuming more time. Many steps within these processes, they do not require human input, so they can be done through bots, and human can have input, I mean, have their intelligent input into something if they have to. So the bot and human can work hand in hand, where bot does the labor work for them, the time consuming work, and bring out a report for human to just review and process it more faster. So in industries, RPA is serving across, I would say, there's no specific industry where RPA is just serving. It's almost across every industry. So it's hard to list down all the industries. We tried to list down a few, but there is, I mean, the bottom line for implementing RPA is a process which is repetitive, which is mundane, and which is data intensive. If you're automating just two or three, I mean, a process which just involves two or three, I would say, times of that activity being done, then the ROI is not that great. So we recommend in those processes where a lot of repetition is being done, a lot of compliance is required, or the process is time intensive. For example, it has to be responded within a certain bracket. So RPA can be something deployed there to get the response faster, to get something processed faster, or to get the operational excellence. So a few industries we have listed down: banking, construction. It's very common, by the way, in banking, and with our experience in manufacturing, in in health, uh, in healthcare as well, including pharma and life sciences. Because during COVID times, it has a lot of its application across healthcare industry, in insurance industry as well, and in telecom as well, with our previous experience and in retail. A lot of work is being done in RPA to automate user experience and the backend processes. So then there are some KPIs which should be kept in mind while an RP is implemented. Uh, the best tool should be used. We should realize that how dependable you are on that system, how effective is the RPA, what's the performance, and what's the output it is giving, and how the staff is cooperating. So these are the key points which should be focused when implementing RPA or when evaluating RPA's performance. How the staff is satisfied, how your customer is satisfied, and how your performance has been improved over the time since RP has been implemented. A lot of tools are there in the market. Primarily they are divided into two categories: enterprise tools, and then there are mid-market tools. In enterprise, there is automation and where UiPath, Power Automate, Blue Prism, and in mid segment we have Electronic, which is the market leader in mid segment. So uh, RPA is there for every industry, but with enterprise, there are different requirements. So they have a different set of tools which are catering to that particular industry. When we go to small and medium industries, then there are small and medium industry specific or special electronic type platforms where such kind of bots are created and then implemented across end users. Now, coming to AI, I mean, everybody would be is familiar with it. It is a process where machine learning and the system actually learns from the previous data, previous work which has been done to mimic human intelligence or do things or do some activities based on their own on its own decisions. It is capable of thinking and analyzing the data. RPA is not capable of thinking and analyzing the data. RPA will only be doing process which is repetitive. It would be doing only what is told. But AI is the technology which is capable to make some decisions as well. So how AI and RPA is related? Like as I said, RPA is all about automating repetitive and rule-based business processes, while AI works using algorithms, data to enable machines to analyze, learn, and make decisions to perform tasks based on patterns and logics, mimicking human intelligence. So when we combine RPA with AI, we get intelligent automation or we get intelligent RPA. So RPA is evolving as AI is evolving because with AI evolution, we are getting intelligent automation where RPA bots are now being made capable to make decisions as well on the basis of the data they are being fed up. So what intelligent RPA can do? Like the normal RPA we have already discussed. So now we have combined RPA with AI. Now what it is capable of doing is um, integrating AI into RPA can extend automation capabilities beyond simple rule-based tasks. So now RPA is has come out of just doing the rule-based tasks, but it can make some decisions as well. It can sort out unstructured data. It can make some decisions based on the patterns, analyze the data. Nowadays, we are talking about interactive chatbots. At the back end, we have AI, but to actually augment that AI with the system, we use RPA bots. So and it can also identify some inefficiencies and suggest some recommendations as well. And system can be, I mean, the RPA and organization systems can also be improved with the passage of time as we have more improvements in AI capabilities. So AI is the brainchild of RPA. Together, they create a unified experience. Through AI, both the human workforce and intelligence RPA work together to create AI bots. So here we have some examples. I mean, the most interesting part of this webinar. I would just take 5 more minutes to show you some of the examples where our team has created RPA, integrated it with AI uh, to solve some of our customer problems. So these videos, they're available on our YouTube channel as well. So I'll just run through one of the videos there. This is a bot which we call intelligent customer support. When some customer is sending an email, like in IT, we have customers who are sending emails to log some ticket or some user is having some issues. So we can have an RPA bot do that assessment of how or what type of ticket is logged and how we can. So this is the bot. It's very simple. We'll click run. The bot will run. I'll just skim it through because we are already short of time there. So when the bot is running and if some customer is sending an email, I mean, in this case, we have a different case where we are analyzing when analyzing a company's social media campaign. Where, for example, you have a customer who have advertised some product on their Twitter, and there are people who are commenting on under that post. So you want, I mean, the customer want to extract those comments, analyze them using AI, and respond them as well. So this is how it's being done with RPA. So these are a few posts from Ford Motors. They have advertised some of their products and offerings they have. So these are a few examples. These are the kind of comments they have. I'll just run it through quickly. So now the bot has analyzed these comments, and it has given all tweets, and the replies have been processed. So the bot has extracted all the tweets, the comments under that particular tweet, and given as an output in an Excel file. So here we have the date, company post URL, company post text, customer, I mean the user who has commented, its comments URL, text, feeling. The feeling, the column G is analyzed by Ask AI, by Open AI, that the feeling was positive. Like for example, you see this comment, truck, yeah, so this was positive. Value 10, it has rated the comment based on that. Summary is the is the assessment of what the comment was. Mr. B is expressing his enthusiasm and love for his Ford vehicle. So it has also suggested a recommended reply in column J. So far, it has analyzed all these comments. If there is a negative comment, it will respond accordingly. If there is a positive comment, it will respond accordingly. I mean, your customers, they can have all these responses customized, whatever they want. I mean, whatever the kind of mindset they have, whatever the way they want to interact with the users, they can. So this is more refined form of all those all that data. I mean, this is a bit more clear. For example, this is a negative one. For example, on row 4. Uh, Stuck at the airport, frustrated. So this one is the response. We apologize for the inconvenience. I appreciate your patience. We'll do our best to expedite the process. Is there anything else we can do to help? So this way, the customer's experience can be fully automated with RPA and AI. These are just the documented responses, but you can have the bot respond on your behalf as well. So the customer will know that the company has responded to his tweet. So now, for example, one more case which we have is a customer who's actually downloading some books from internet and creating the summary of those books using AI and posting that summary into on their website on WordPress. So this is how it is being done by RPA and AI. I'll just make it quick. The bot is getting all the information from ChatGPT about this book, and it is pasting it in the WordPress. It is doing everything at the back end. It is getting the image of that book. We have a designated folder. All this thing is automated. There is no human intervention involved. The user is just giving a list of books. It is creating the tags. It is creating the, it is sorting it out as per the SEO standard and guidelines you have in place. So the customers can have a fully functional bot, which is actually managing their website and any posting on that with while integrating it with AI. Everything is being written by the bot. I mean, all these selections, they are predefined. Of course, there is no human intelligence in selecting these options, but eventually all this will be published on the company website by the bot eventually. Last example, we have a textile customer. They had a lot of purchase orders coming in, and we actually created this bot for them to receive those purchase orders from their email and process that, take out the data, extract the data from those purchase orders for each type of order, and punch it in their internal system. These customers, they are getting hundreds of purchase orders in a day. So the bot is monitoring their mailbox 24 hours. We have these two examples. These are the items which are there. So this is the order summary. It creates an order summary based on all the data which is there in the PDF. When we run this part, you just have to click this part. It does everything at the back end. The user can even use the system. So this summary file, it has created by extracting all the data from those PDFs. So far, we had just two PDFs. It can process hundreds of PDFs in a day. The speed is really quick. And then it created CSV for each particular order asset which is being ordered, and then it will punch it into the production system which is there in on Oracle. So the RPA can be integrated with all the available, I would say, ERP systems, including SAP, Oracle, and any maybe customized system as well. So this is an order for each type of article. It is being, for now, we have just asked the bot to email, so it has emailed us all these CSVs. But in customer environment, we had to push this data into their internal system. So we have done that for this customer. So this is pretty much it from the presentation. If you guys have any questions, you can raise your hands, and we can have 5 minutes of Q&A. If there would be anybody whose questions would be remaining, that we can that you can always email to us. I'll ask my team to disperse the contact information. You might find that on LinkedIn as well, from where the whole webinar was generated, and we can answer them one by one. So we have Mr. Umair. You are on unmute. Umair, I can't hear you somehow. Can you speak now, please? Unfortunately, you are not audible. Umair, I think, can you please check your mic once again, and then I'll come back to you. I have some question from another participant. We have Mr. Khalid. Khalid, can you?
Hi,
Yes.
Varis. Thank you so much for the informative and constructive, webinar. I just wanted to make sure that since you know we understand that by the you know evolution of RPA and AI, we have reduced human error and human interaction. But what about, that means that we will not have any sort of, much interaction in terms of, if you're moving, a data center from one, building to another building. Since robots are not that, intelligent to do that, but we still need, manpower.
Yes, definitely. That still is there. And from this, I just got an idea. Like I saw somewhere on the social media, a company in Belgium. They had an under construction building, and they wrote, I mean, a big signboard on that. Hey, ChatGPT, can you please finish this building? Of course, it cannot. So RPA, AI, they have certain limitations. Human will always remain relevant. It's not the case. It's going to replace human. Thank you, Khaled, for your question. I'll try to unmute Umair again, because Arfa, can you see if you can unmute Umair? Mr. Umair is here, and uh, Umair, I think I can hear you now. No, it's audible.
Okay, so Omar, you unmute from your side. Can you please unmute yourself because you are muted? Can you please just try to unmute from the button, like up near the button, up right corner?
If there is still the challenge, and if there are no other questions, we are already done with the time. I would appreciate if Mr. Umair can send an email or maybe contact with us later on. We'll address the query. We have one more last question from Mr. Yasir Nadeem. I'll just unmute him.
Omar, you can just write your question on chat because there's something with your mic. I don't know what.
I just unmuted Mr. Yasir, but I think I can't hear him as well. Oh, okay, we have this. So we have this question from Mr. Umair Sanis. I think curious about the frequency of changes on ChatGPT side that force you to update your integration as well. Actually, the feature is built in. So everything which is updated in ChatGPT, we don't need to update it further in the bot. It does everything at the back end. There is an API available integrated with RPA, so you don't need to change anything on that. So I hope I have addressed your question, Umar.
Anybody can just put their question on a chat or in a Q section. We will answer it from there because if there's a problem with your mic.
Yasser, you can also ask the question in chat if you want. Mr. Yasser. Somehow I'm not being able to unmute this one. I think I can't hear Yasser so far again. So thank
Yasser,
you
can you
everybody.
unmute?
I think we passed. Yeah,
Am I
now I
audible
can
now?
hear. Yes, yes, you are audible now, Yasser.
Yes, you are.
My question is that are your company only providing bot services, or either you will provide further training for this purpose?
Uh, we are a solution provider. We have the development team already, but we plan to do some training as well. But that is limited. Of course, we have a back office in Islamabad, Pakistan. So we have those trainings there. We don't have any international trainings. So if you are based near that, once we start that, we will update on our social media handles. So you'll get to know about that.
Okay, as you said that RPA and artificial intelligence both are combined, and now the automation is too efficient. But do you think that by using artificial intelligence, it's too much dangerous for humanity, as that can destroy many systems?
Well, it has to be regulated at first. So once the regulators are in place, there is no way that it can be manipulated at such a great level. So I won't go that far. I think the regulators will decide further on that. All right,
Okay,
Yasir,
thank
thank
you.
you. We have another question from Suhail. So can you unmute Suhail, Arfa? Somehow I don't see Suhail now in the attendees. So maybe he's dropped.
So he's here. Sohail, do you want to say anything or do you have any question? Please unmute your mic. You can disable it. So we have another
We have
question
this
in chat.
question in the chat. I mean, it depends. It depends on the end user's requirement. Like these two, three examples which we gave, they were with AI, but they were mostly small end users who were having that kind of requirement. But eventually, it totally depends on the end customer how they want the process to be automated. If they want to have intelligent automation, for example, there are companies who ask us to leverage AI. So we only leverage AI in that case. Eventually, it depends on the end customer, I would say. So thank you, everybody. I think we have passed 5 minutes already of the scheduled time. Thanks, Khalid. Thanks, everybody else who joined the webinar. You'll get the recording as well later on. You can review as well. If you have any context and any questions, you can feel free to email reach out to our team. It's there on the, I mean, on all the portals. So I would appreciate that. Thanks, everybody.
Okay,
I'll be
here I
signing off.
just want to say something that this is the first episode for our RP and artificial intelligence webinar, and the other episodes will be come, inshallah. So you can just keep following us, and we can send you emails also to just notify you that we are having another session. So that's really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.